Very common name. I'm hoping I looked up the right stats on this guy. So it's Hector Rodriguez. And if you guys jump on MILB and look up names, Rodriguez is like Smith. There's a million of them. There was 4 Hector Rodriguez's, so I hope I chose the right one, Ross. But here we go. We got a 5'8", 186-pound, 19-year-old out of the Dominican Republic, Hector Rodriguez. His stats this year look as 2 different affiliates. First, he started in single A and then made it up to high A. Overall in the season, he had 461 at-bats, batted .293 with an on-base of .343, slugged .495, on-base plus slugging .838, 16 home runs, 18 stolen bases, 94 strikeouts, 28 walks, 25 doubles, 10 triples. I think that's an impressive stat, 10 triples. Anytime you get into double digits, that's a pretty big deal. But Hector Rodriguez, what do you got?
So Hector Rodriguez is one of those guys that I was touting this year. In fact, going back to last year even, I had thought Hector Rodriguez looked like he could have some breakout potential, and I think we got that this year. Though it comes with some stipulations. It wasn't like a massive, he's blown out top 100 list sort of breakout. He started out extremely hot, and he did cool down midway through the season. But he did flash some pretty decent power in the low minors at just 19, and he is still 19, so he's a young 19, but pretty good overall numbers. He had really good numbers last year for the Reds as well, and the Mets before he was traded to the Reds. So I would say this is continuation. There's talent here. You can see it. Good bat to ball skills. The strikeout rate was a little more elevated this year than I was hoping for. It was much lower last year. But again, he was at the rookie level, single A level. His power did kind of taper off when he was promoted to high A. I don't think that that's alarming at this point.
Nope.
But I think the power is better than people were expecting. And I feel like this guy is one of those guys that sort of has a motor on him. I've heard he's not particularly fast, but he does collect stolen bases at a decent clip. He had 18 last year. So something to know. And mostly, I think he's athletic. It's just he's not, he's only 5'8". He's not a big guy. So not extremely fast, but there could be some sneaky speed in there. Yep. I really like Hector Rodriguez, and I'm going to endorse him as a go get him.
Okay.
I think he's a good guy to target and go after.
Nice. So 19 years old, he will be 20 in March. He just stuffs the scoreboard, man. He does everything really well. Nothing really great yet, but yeah, everything really well. This has got 2020 potential written all over it.
Yep, I see that as well. And he's another really interesting player up and coming for the Cincinnati Reds, which, they're making waves as well. So
God, did you ever think we'd live in a world where the Orioles and the Reds have like the best future on the planet? I didn't.
No. Well, and this, there should be some context. So one of my really good buddies, my roommate in college, his favorite team is the Orioles. My favorite team is the Cincinnati Reds. And we commiserated in how awful our teams were across the board. And granted, the Reds, the Orioles going way back had some winning teams, but when we were roommates and stuff, no, they were pretty awful. And the Reds had some seasons in there, but I always chalked it up as like, yeah, they look like a great 85 win team, first round exit in the playoffs, and they did that quite a few times. They just were never fully committed to, I guess, the process of building a team from within. And I think they're finally there. Fascinating. And the Orioles are doing the same thing. I think the Orioles are probably even a little more advanced. And yeah, never thought I would see the day. It's pretty crazy.